aren't all divorce lawyers the same? Can't I just hire the cheapest one and get on with this? I mean, can you? Sure. Do I recommend it? Definitely not. I don't think all divorce lawyers are the same. I know that because I'm divorced and I did not have the same divorce lawyer throughout my process. I definitely didn't have the same lawyer from my divorce into my custody process. So I've been a purveyor, a user of legal services in the divorce and custody space. I can just tell you from my own personal experience, each one of those encounters was very, very different. Some were great, some were not, and for various reasons. So when you're considering which divorce law firm to help you, whether you're in Texas or wherever you are, I want you to think about, okay, for some people, cheap has to be the number one criteria because you literally only have a certain amount of dollars on the planet, access to credit cards, absolutely everything else. I feel you, I'm not judging that. You have to do what you have to do. But if really cheap is not the only thing, right? You get what you pay for. We all know that. You've ordered something on Amazon and you thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. And it turns out to be silly. Like on the John Oliver episode recently, they showed this big, huge multicolored Christmas tree that was in the Instagram ad. And then it was 12 feet tall, gorgeous. It was so fun. It was this big rainbow sparkly thing. And then they showed it on the show and it was this tall and the most wonky little saddest tree, like Charlie Brown Christmas you've ever seen. And to some extent, that can be the experience in the divorce process. I mean, maybe not quite that extreme of an example, but really what you need to consider is what are you looking for in the process? And so I recommend that you visit with several lawyers, at least 2 or 3, 4. You don't want to completely wear yourself out doing it because it's a lot to retell your story over and over again. Ask me how I know. But if you talk to several different people of, relatively comparable rates, you'll be able to make some pretty clear comparisons to find the right fit with you. So that's the thing. I really want you to focus on who is the right fit, because what you may not foresee in this moment when you're on the front end is you're going to be dealing with this person and this team and this paralegal for months on months, maybe years if things get kind of crazy. It needs to be a good fit for you. And yes, it needs to be cost effective. What you really need to do is not find the cheapest lawyer, but the most effective with your money lawyer. Do you get to talk to a paralegal before you talk to an attorney so that you can keep your costs down because the paralegals cost less money? Do you have the opportunity to do some work yourself to save yourself time and money? At our firm, we tell you how we save all of our documents, and we'll let you save the documents in that format your own way to save you the time and money of us having to organize your stuff. So does the firm you're thinking of working with think about how to be careful with how your money is spent on legal fees? You also want to consider the availability and depth of the bench that you're thinking of hiring. What if your lawyer is super duper busy? Is there a backup person you can call? Is there another paralegal that you can talk to? Is there someone else at the firm who can help you if you have some sort of an issue? And really, really the overall strategic mindset of the attorney and legal team you'd be hiring, I would say that's the number one thing you need to align with when choosing your counsel, not whether they're the cheapest. It's not a factor, but it really shouldn't be the main factor, because you need to ensure that you and your lawyer see pretty eye to eye on how this case is going to go. And if they're the sort of person who's I will win at all costs, burn it down, we're going to make them pay, and they fuel the fire of your anger and frustration, what I think you should hear is cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Because when you're angry and you're stirring up a bunch of stuff, law firms bill more hours and thus make more money. So maybe that's cool with you. Maybe that's what you want the divorce process to be, is a tool to exact revenge or something. Number 1, I think you're going to end up regretting that decision. Number 2, I don't think you're going to get what you want, but you do you. But if for you, it's more about the focus on the goals, focus on life after this, focus on keeping the main thing, I think you're going to have a lot more success aligning with that sort of person who tries to bring the temperature down instead of heating things up. And even if they're not the cheapest on the front end, but they can keep the temperature down, they can help keep costs down throughout the duration of your case. So I think more important than the cheapest is someone who really, or a firm really, who takes to heart that this is your hard-earned money and they're going to spend it carefully the way that they would if it was their own life, if it was their own case, not just worried about CYA and putting every document in our file folders at our offices, but instead focused on what your family needs in your situation, trusting you to be a reasonable grown-up adult, empowering and equipping you to have some agency and some say in your case, and making sure that those strategies all line up for the best fit for you and your family at this really important and influential time.